All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? Uh, Hope everybody's had a great weekend. I've been just very busy. It happens. It's all right though. Not complaining. I'd rather be busy than bored. So anyway, before we jump into anything, I do want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you can't abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue will boot you out of here. I'm going to cut that fan down. Give me just 1 second. I didn't want to turn it off all the way, but I definitely wanted to turn it down so I can hear better, hear myself, I guess, and so you guys don't hear that blasting away in the background. All right, so again, let's just have a good stream, and we will go from there. So obviously, the title is kind of a moot point. I made the title a few days ago when I set up the live stream, wondering if they were going to have a shutdown or not have a shutdown. But we're going to talk about this because I do think that it is important. The hypocrisy of both sides. You know, oh, we've fought hard and we came up with a deal and a settlement, and both sides, compromised. They're all full of crap, guys. They're so full of crap. It is ridiculous. You know darn well they talked behind closed doors, uh, made decisions, and then said, "Okay, what are we going to do to make both parties look good?" So they give up a little bit of this side gives up a little bit of that, and they come to a compromise for a temporary solution. Whatever happened, um, yeah, I can probably use it again in 45 days exactly. Well, and this is exactly what I was going to say. Whatever happened, okay, let's make a deal and it's for a couple of years. And they come to that agreement. Whatever happened to that, okay? I mean, it's absolutely insanity. Uh, Again, nothing changes. Nothing's going to change. They make me sick, I'll be honest. They just make me sick. But what can you do? It is part of the deal of what you have to deal with. But yep, just kick the can down the road, but not far enough. Exactly, Delbert. Exactly. And the worst part is, are they? So here would be a question I think most Americans would want to ask: are they coming up with a solution somehow to reduce the debt? Oh no, why would they do that? No, no, absolutely not. They're not going to do that. They just keep adding on to it, make it bigger and bigger. It's nuts. So that was good. All right, so a couple thoughts, and I want to get your guys' take on this. A lot of people have asked, and it's a legitimate question. Do you think we'll go back to lockdowns and all that again? Okay, and so I don't believe they will because I think that whoever's in charge. When I say they, I'm not talking about Biden or any of those people. I'm talking about the people that really run things. Okay, um, I think that they know that not it's never going to be the majority. There's going to be a certain percentage that whatever they're told to do, they're going to do it. And somebody made a great point, and they said some of these people are so stupid. If they were in a line and they were walking off a cliff and they were told to just keep walking, they would just keep walking. And I agree with that sentiment. I agree with it 100%. So, yeah, Black Hills. I'll show you guys. But you know, it just it blows me away. Like I said, it just I'm Completely lost my train of thought, guys. What was I just talking about? Hey, James, thank you for becoming a beginner prepper. Thank you for the support. It's very much appreciated. Anybody else would like to join and show support? Oh, the debt. Yes, we'll talk. Okay, thank you very much. My brain is not working at full capacity tonight. I'm tired. Um, yeah, walking off a cliff. Uh, they would absolutely do it. There's nothing's going to change their mindset. If they're told to do what they're going to do, they're just going to do it, blindly follow, and all that. But I think more people this time than the last time would say, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing it again." Okay, all the let's put it like this: all the people that didn't do it the first time are sure not going to do it the second time if there was a second time. And I think a lot of people that did it the first time would be like, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me." So I think a lot of people would be like, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing it again." So um, I honestly think that there's something else in the works. And I can't, like I said, I will never sit here, guys, and make a prediction and say it's going to be this or it's going to be that or the other thing. I mean, I talk about plausible scenarios, absolutely talk about plausible scenarios that could absolutely happen. Could we see a financial collapse? Absolutely, we could see a financial collapse. Could we see a grid down situation? I absolutely believe we could see a grid down situation. Could we see, right? Could we see, because of the influx of the open southern borders and everybody just coming through, uh, could there be sleeper cells that have come through and have set up shop here, there, the other place, financed by who knows who, and waiting for the signal uh, to wreak as much havoc as they possibly can? That is a very plausible scenario that could absolutely happen. I want you to think about this. People talk about, a nuclear attack and an EMP and all these type of things. And I don't think that those are plausible situations. And I will tell you why I don't think they will. If a foreign actor wanted to take over America, right? They want the land intact. They want to be able to use the land. They want to be able to use the equipment. They're not going to want to destroy, you know, have nuclear power plants melting down, having all kinds of issues that way and stuff like that. They don't want that. Okay, so you know, again, so to me, the most plausible situation would be a grid down situation because, as I have said before, they don't have to attack us. I mean, other than making the grid go down. Okay, so if there's sleeper cells and they go out and they attack the grid or they do it whatever way that they would decide to do it, um, you would see, again, you would see a big problem with, we would eat each other. That's exactly how it would be. They don't have to come in and fight at all. They just have to sit back and wait. That's all they have to do. So if the grid goes down, again, and the estimates are that if the grid went down and was down for an extended period of time, like say a year, that 90% of the people in the United States would be gone. And that's not unrealistic to think that that's not a possibility because, again, people are not prepared. I talk to people, folks, every single day. I try to enlighten people, try to talk to them, see where their heads at, see what their thinking is, and and I always use the thing, and I always use the same scenario because, again, to me, it's most likely the most likely scenario. I said, if the lights went out tomorrow and we're not coming back on, how ready are you? And most of the people say the same thing, not very. And that's the reality. Most of them are not very ready for a situation like that. So, unfortunately, uh, what ends up happening because of that is you have a lot of people that are going to be victims. There's going to be a lot of people that are legitimate victims, okay, because they had no clue. They had their head in the sand. They weren't paying attention. They're so focused on themselves and whatever revolves around their life. that they're not looking at the big picture, they're not paying attention, they're not preparing and being ready. Now, you have those I'm a victim type of people out there as well that will be like, well, somebody needs to do something. And I will never forget, guys. And honestly, this was my favorite, one of my favorite Karen moments, if you will. So Hurricane Sandy had hit New York, okay, and so Chuck Schumer is down there, glad handing, shaking hands, and putting the presents on like we give a crap, right? And I will never forget this lady is sitting there and she's like, "We need help. Why are you not helping us?" So, and there you go. Rely on your government, and that's going to be what you're looking at. They're not going to be there in a situation where it is a worst case scenario. They know they can't be. There's no way logistically that they could be. There's just no way. Uh, could there possibly be pockets, right? There could possibly be pockets where they're setting things up and they're getting things ready and all those type of things. But the reality is, we're on our own. The majority of us, we're on our own. So again, I will say it over and over, probably till I'm blue in the face, and some of you are going to get it, and some of you are not going to get it. But do everything in your power to help yourselves. Put yourselves in positions where you're going to be ready, what you're going to, to do. I want you to think about, let's talk about stress for a minute. Now, you know what? Okay, Amy A, she says, get a fishing pole. You and 5,000 other people, right? You and 5,000 other people are going to be fishing that lake day in, day out, day in, day out, looking for fish, looking for food. How quickly do you think that lake or pond or wherever you are is going to be fished dry? How long do you think that'll take? Because you're not giving the ecosystem enough of a chance to recuperate, okay? Same thing with hunting, all right? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry that has some kind of weapon is going to think that they're John Rambo. They're going to go into the woods and they're going to shoot everything that doesn't move. Everything that doesn't move, they're going to shoot. And how quickly do you? Yeah, that's why there's limits on hunting and fishing. But in SHTF, there's not going to be. There's not going to be, and people are just going to go out there and they're going to do what they think that they need to do. And a lot of them are going to waste a lot of meat because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to preserve it or any of those type of things. So fishing is a lot different from catching. But again, okay, if you have 1,000 poles in the water, somebody's catching fish. That's a fact, okay? The rivers here in Missouri are stocked by the fish, with fish every week in SHTF. Nobody will stock thoughts. Here in Missouri are stocked with fish every week at SHTF. Nobody will stock thoughts fish. Yeah, nobody's going to stock fish. I'm going to tell you what they do in New York. We have fish hatcheries all over in New York State, and they're wonderful things. Fish hatcheries are great. And what they do is they get the fish up to a certain size and they let them into the rivers. And that was done, so people could fish. That was done so that, some of them are going to make it and they're going to be okay and do all those type of things. But, you know, it's just the reality that, and people don't, like, literally, people get it. Well, I'll just go in the woods and I'll hunt and fish and I'll be by myself and I'll be great. Yeah, good luck, right? Same here in Missouri, Delbert says. Okay, yeah. But that's what they do. That's what they do. Which, and again, I think that it's an awesome thing that the fish hatcheries are there, that they produce the fish. There's one in a small town called Caledonia. It's where I went to high school. Um, and they got the fish hatchery right down there, and I've been there several times. It's really, really cool. It's actually, I think it's amazing. So, but again, so you have that situation. Now let's talk about another situation. Somebody just mentioned this in the chat. Call 911 after SHTF happens. See if any help is coming. Okay. Oh, this person did this or this person did that. There's no help coming. I will tell you right now. And I'm going to tell you what, and I don't blame them. Okay, I don't blame them. In a true SHTF situation, your ambulance drivers, your paramedics, all those people, they're going to go home. They're going home. All the cops are going home. You would see large sections of the military say, screw this, I'm going home, wherever home may be, depending on where they're stationed. I mean, if they're overseas, they're going to have to band together on whatever post that they're on, and they're going to need to do what they need to do. But I have said to you over and over and over again, we are going to be gatherers and growers in a true SHTF situation. Now, if you are fortunate enough to have some livestock, obviously you should keep that rolling and keep that going. Okay. I would highly recommend having incubators, or or because you don't want to just wait on the hens to clutch. You don't want to wait on that. You're gonna need to replenish the stock and have more chickens and that type of stuff coming on. Yeah, and you got to hope that nobody kills and eats your livestock. You are 100% correct. If you have something and they don't, they're coming. They're coming. So again, if it's just you, your wife, and your kids, or the wife and the husband and the kids, however, uh, you know, you can't stay up 24 hours a day, folks. I'm telling you right now, you can't do it. You can't do that. You can't do all the things that you need to do. You can't stay up and take care of all the things that need to be taken care of. Somebody's always got to be on watch. Once SHTF happens, somebody always has to be awake. Somebody always has to be, you know, doing what they need to do to pay attention to what's going on. Um, all the farms would be looted pretty quickly. Yep, yep. Yes, the Cowboys took care of the Patriots today in a close game of 38-3. So very happy to see that. Defense was scored 2 touchdowns themselves. So yeah, really, really good to see. That's all right. 3-1. Hey, the Bills. Now, last week, Miami scored 70 points against Denver, right? 70 points against Denver. And this week, the Bills handed the Dolphins their behind. So good for the Bills, but no more football. Come on now. I still like football. I don't care. I don't care. See, I don't go with the trends of what everybody else does. I don't go with the trends of that. Oh, I'm boycotting them because, certain players took a knee. It's your choice. Knock yourselves out. I never boycotted football. I like football. I like football. I like baseball. And I used to play a lot of basketball. I like to play basketball more than I watch basketball, but it's different now than it was, 25, 30 years. When Michael Jordan was there, with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, they were defense minded first, and those guys shut teams down. Now it's all showboat and how many threes you can throw up in the game. So, but anyway, oh, talking about after. Oh, I got you, Delbert. Yeah, no, there won't be any football afterwards. No, no, there will not. So, but again, going back to what we're talking about here, folks. We got 368 in the chat. We only got 131 thumbs up, which is a deplorable number. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So I thank you for that reason. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that as well. So, but going back to what we're talking about here, the reality in a true SHTF event is we're on our own. Nobody's coming to help. There's not going to be any rescue. You know, you know, natural. And here's the thing that I think a lot of people don't think about, because a natural disaster happens all the time in this country, every single year, right? Do you watch Suspicious Observers? There's a lot of prepping for that too. Oh yeah, no, there absolutely is. I know exactly what you're talking about. No, I don't disagree with that as well. But anyway, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of the thought process. And again, when you have 95% of the population that is not prepared, uh, there is going to be a lot of looting. There's going to be a lot of killing. There's going to be a lot of, people that are, there's going to be some people that'll sit there waiting for rescue to happen. And again, it's not going to. I don't think that, no, Bubba One, I don't think that that's going to be the case. I don't think so at all. Maybe, how do I explain this? I don't think you're going, and I'll tell you why I don't think you're going to see people rounded up like that. Because if they tried to do that, especially out in the country, uh, they're going to have people are going to fight them, and they're going to lose a lot of numbers. It's easier for them to wait them out. And I've talked about that, I've talked about that a lot. Um, you know, People may say, yeah, I'm ready. And when SHTF happens, I can't wait and blah, 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 whatever, whatever you hear. Okay. It can hold off. And as far as I'm concerned, it can hold off for a long time. I have way too much to do ahead of time. Who's going to do the rounding up if the military is going to go home to their families? Well, and that's the thing too. Your police force is going to be gone. Now there will be some that may stay. I doubt it, to be honest with you, because they're going to realize it's futile. That it's not going to be, and if you have a family, you're going to take care of your family just like anybody else would. So, your doctors, your nurses, all those type of things, they're going to be, they're going to be, the ones that are going to be, they're gone. They're not going to be there. So again, when I say nobody's coming, nobody's coming. So heaven forbid, like I said, natural disasters are going to continue to happen. They're happening. The only difference is there's going to be nobody in there cleaning them up, and you're going to clean up your area, right? And if you're by yourself and it's you and your wife and your kids, where are you going, right? Where are you going to go? You can't go anywhere else because there's trees down and whatever else, and there's a disaster or a hurricane comes in, or tornado, or whatever the case may be. If you live in the Northeast and that blizzard comes in, guess what? You're there for the duration. You're there till spring when the snow melts. There's think about up in the mountains, like in Colorado, out west, out in those areas where they get a ton of snow. Well, you're in for the duration. When that snow starts coming, you ain't going anywhere. So you better be ready. And again, a lot of those people in those areas, they're not ready at all. But where are they going to go? Where are they going? What are they going to do? Where are they going to go to get help? So yes, they have good neighbors that are preppers that are willing to help them. Um, you know, you're not going anywhere. And the whole Northeast, folks, the whole Northeast. Think about it. You know, one good snowstorm shuts things down in the Northeast for maybe a week, it depending on how much snow. But a foot of snow, right, which is not uncommon, especially in New York at any one particular point in time. Think about. I want you to think about. Let's think about Buffalo. Let's talk about Buffalo. Let's talk about that. So you got Buffalo, New York. You get the lake effect snow. Uh, they get huge snowstorms in Buffalo. Again, who's coming to help them? Who's coming to save the day? No one. No one. So they're on their own, you know. But it, I don't think a lot of people really sit down and think about the logistics and what's going to happen and what are we going to do. Again, it will be a tremendous amount of lives lost, especially if we have a winter SHTF event. It's going to be huge, huge numbers in that situation. And because there's not going to be anybody coming to save the day, there's just not going to be, But commercials on onions are not bad. You want to get rid of toxins out of your body? Cut an onion, get some slice of onion, put it on the heel of your foot, put a sock on, and go to sleep. How about for onions? A little advice. But again, certain things we need to think about, and think about realistically. Realistically, how many people are on meds in this country? There's a tremendous amount of people on meds, okay? Well, when you come off meds, a lot of times, you have to do it slowly. You have to be weaned off. Well, if you got your 90-day supply of whatever, right, and SHTF happens, there ain't no more going to get anymore. So you better start weaning yourself off right away, because you're going to be off of them. And a lot of those meds that are out there are life-saving medications. So, you have to look at everything from a realistic standpoint. And that's what I don't think a lot of people do, you know. I'm not really worried about the drug addicts, to be honest with you folks, and I'll tell you why. Their life expectancy after a true SHTF event is maybe 6 weeks if they're lucky. Because in 6 weeks, one of two things are going to happen. All right. They're going to get clean. They're going to go through withdrawal, and they're going to be clean because they don't have a choice but to be clean. Or they're going to get killed. Or they're going to OD. They're going to get killed by people trying to get into somebody's house and, get in there, and people are going to take them out. So I'm not worried about the drug addicts, but yeah, okay, type 1 diabetes. That's a good point. My mother is an insulin dependent diabetic, and we have talked, we've talked about these things. And she said to me, I realize that I will not be around long, after something goes down terribly, because she can't get her medicine. That's a reality. And again, those are things that people really, I don't think a lot of people take into consideration. They don't think about, because they want to have this fantasy thing in their mindset, like it's going to be some great thing. A true SHTF event, any prepper that's worth their salt is hoping that it never happens. They're hoping that it never happens. Now, we prepare for it, right? But realistically, what are we preparing for, right? Are we waiting, sitting around, I'm going to wait in the mountains and wait for the end of the world to happen? No, that's not why we prep. That's not why we prep. We prep because whatever happen, natural disaster, loss of job, loss of a breadwinner, whatever the case may be, there's a tremendous amount of reasons of why to prep. And that's what people, I don't think people think about that. They just don't. And so, that's why so many people do nothing. That's why they're not ready. So when something happens, they better be as prepared as they possibly can be, because we just don't know. And that's the scary thing. That is the scary thing. Yeah, people on antidepressants, so let's talk about that. It's a good point, Mac. People on antidepressants. I've known people that have been on antidepressants, and they tried to quit cold turkey, and they get it just messes with them so badly that you have to be weaned off of that. You can't just stop. You can't just stop. So those are things that that's reality. So how do you prepare for that, right? Try to get as many meds as you can. Well, Karen, yeah, bipolar meds. Your people with schizophrenia, that are on bipolar meds and those type of stuff, they ain't going to be around long either, Karen. They're not. You know, life-saving meds, your insulin-dependent meds. If you are on meds so that your body doesn't reject your liver transplant or your heart transplant or whatever transplant that you had to have, you're not going to be able to have those. You're not going to be around long. Again, and I'm not trying to be a gloom and doomer with that, saying that, but that's reality. So now what do we have? 407 in the chat, guys, and I'm only seeing 184 thumbs up. So again, I'm going to ask if you throw a thumbs up there to show support for the channel. If everybody that hasn't done it at least so far, we'd be over 400. So see how that works? So if you have not done so yet, please do that to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. Also, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. And last but not least, if you are not subscribed again to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And again, thank you ahead of time. So, it's the fourth. They're doing that thing. read into it what you want. I'm not reading a lot into it, to be honest with you. I really am not. I know people are flipping out about it and thinking that they're going to be, it's going to release something and this is what's going to happen. That's realistically, realistically, that's unrealistic. Okay, you know, um, I'm too much reality based. I'm not feeding into all of these things. I'm really not. Um, I honestly believe they're doing this test to come up with something down the road that will scare the crap out of everybody. That's yeah, Jason, it's insanity. But again, I'm on 100 milligrams for blood pressure. Okay, Sonia, so high blood pressure medication, right? Here's another reality for a lot of people that are on high blood pressure medication. A lot of people are on high blood pressure medication because we're too heavy of a country. Uh, well, thank you very much. That's wonderful. That Ed, you're obese. I don't think you'll be around long after SHTF. Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? I wouldn't really call myself obese. Am I overweight? Yep, I sure am. You know, but guess what? I'm pretty healthy for my age. Oh yeah, it's a troll Viking. And that's fine. Oh no! Oh, you hurt my feelings. Wait a minute, guys. I'm gonna have a timeout here. I'm gonna have to go into my cry closet because somebody said something mean to me, and I can't take it because I'm very sensitive. Whatever. Here's what I would say to anybody, troll, whatever. If you got something to say, come see me. Say it to my face. See what happens then. And that's not a threat. I'm just saying. If you want to play that game, you think you're a tough guy because you're hiding in your mom's basement on the keyboard. I'm going to show him. Ooh. Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, I got a great one for you. Speaking of that, I got to tell you, it just goes to show the stupidity, real true stupidity of some people. Okay. So I had somebody say and sent me an email. My favorite troll. Let me put that out there first. Was my favorite troll. He's got about 55, 60 different accounts, but I know who you are. So he says, "Why do you get so triggered when somebody says you have a commune?" Well, I don't get triggered. I don't care that you want to call it whatever you want to call it. You want to call it a cult, a commune, whatever the case may be. None of you know what you're talking about, which is just fine. Um, but they said, you're such an idiot. I'm going to show you the definition of a commune, right? So the definition of a commune, and I'm going to share it with you guys because it just goes to prove how stupid this individual is. A commune is a group of people that all live together. Well, that was one, right? Um, we don't all live together. We are a bug out location. That's what we are. We get together once a month, right, for 2 days. So maybe in that 2 days, maybe we're a commune those 2 days. Maybe if you want to reach, let's reach. Also, it's a group of people that all share the same goods. Well, we don't really do that either. Everybody has their own stuff. They do their own thing. Now we'll break bread together. We'll say, hey, who's bringing what, so that we can cook and we can eat together and all those type of things. So, but it just goes to show you the intelligence level of what I have to deal with when they don't even know that they're being how stupid they are when they're trying to give me a definition to say that I'm a commune when we're not. So that's okay. Again, they can think whatever they want to think because at the end of the day, doesn't make a difference anyway. You want to call us a cult, you want to call us a commune, I don't really care. So yeah, I'm about Asanya. I'm right with you. I'm about 40 pounds overweight. That's where I'm at. But here's the beautiful thing with that. So going back to what we were talking about before, okay? You're on high blood pressure medication. The reality is this: when SHTF happens, no more fast food, no more cookies, pies, cakes, treats, and all that good stuff. You're going to be much more active. Okay, guaranteed, 100%. If you want to be or not want to be, you're going to be much more active. You're going to lose weight, and when you lose that weight, you're not going to need, in a lot of cases, not saying in all cases. Okay, let me be clear when I say that. Uh, but in a lot of cases, you're not going to need that high blood pressure medication anymore. How many times have you seen uh, somebody that was like ridiculous? When I think of somebody that is obese, I'm thinking of somebody that's more than 100 pounds overweight. Could be 70, 80 pounds is pretty obese as well. But when you get up to that 100 range and higher, that's obese to me. Okay, some of those folks have made a decision to lose the weight, and as they drop the weight, they were coming off this medication, that medication, because they didn't need it anymore, because their body was adapting and adjusting and healthier. Okay, and that's why. So, but and again, oh my God, how many times have I've been called fat or obese on this channel through the years? A million. And guess what? Still don't care. I look at it like this: when the time comes, I'm going to lose weight no matter what, guaranteed. I'm pretty healthy. I get around pretty good, and I do, I can outwork a lot of people. Okay, for my age, even with being too heavy, I can still outwork a lot of people. And when SHTF happens, I have a buffer, so it's going to be easier for me. So I used to be obese. You're not obese. Thank you, German Theory. I appreciate that. Now, I know I'm overweight. I've never denied that. I think, like I said, I could lose 40 pounds, honestly. If I lost 40 pounds, I think I would look awesome. But, upper body wise, I'm solid. It's not fat. I'll tell you where I carry my fat. I carry it in my behind and in my gut. That's where I carry my fat. So, oh, I can remember Southern Homestead. I can remember being in the gym, and they would have bodybuilders, right, that would have like 4%, 3% body fat. But according to the charts and stuff like that, because they were, let's say, 6'2", but they were 250 or 260 pounds of solid muscle, they were considered obese, because according to the chart, you should weigh this much. So, a lot of that is speculative. Now, if you're sitting around day after day after day, getting zero energy at all, or I mean exercise at all, not doing anything, then you're gonna put the pounds on, and it's not gonna come off easily, and you're not working. Um, I do quite a bit around here, not trying to toot my own horn, but uh, anybody that wants a workout, come move block with me someday. We'll have a great time. You'll get a good workout. Come walk the hills with me. You'll get a great workout walking the hill. Excuse me. It's just, like I said again, you know, can you imagine telling Schwarzenegger that he was obese? Exactly. Yeah, look at him in his prime. I mean, just he was unbelievably fit. So, Dawn says they can stack wood at my house. There you go. Yeah, you want to work out, folks? I'll run the chainsaw, and you want to come down and stack wood for me? That'll be great. How many times have you walked up and down that hill this week? Delbert, God, a few, a few. And somebody will say to me, and I love this too. Okay, now I got the four wheelers here. There's two four wheelers here. Okay, I would rather walk. Okay, when I go to a park, when I go to a store, um, I'll park as far away from the store as I possibly can, and I walk, because I like the exercise. To me, that's exercise. So I have no problem. I'll walk, and I'll be 100% honest with you. When I first came down to this property, and the first time I walked that hill, all right, not doing a video, just walking the hill. Okay, just walking the hill. I had to stop halfway up. I had to stop halfway. I was sucking wind like you would not believe. It is very deceptive, that hill, on video and in real life. And every one of my members, that anybody that's come here and become a member, I always tell them, go walk the hill. Go walk the hill. And they do, and they come back and they're like, geez, that's terrible. It is. So to me, I'll walk it because I like the exercise, and and yeah, do I suck wind when I get to the top? Yep, but I don't stop anymore. So it's just yeah, doing the cutting of carbs. Well, and the thing is, the more active you are, the better off you're gonna be. I mean, like my arms, guys, there's no fat on my arms. My arms are solid. I mean, that's not fat. I'm active. I'm doing stuff. So my chest is not fat. Like I said, it's in my gut and in my behind. That's where I'm fat. My legs aren't fat. So but like I said again, people are always going to say what they're going to say, and that's perfectly fine. I really don't care. They can have their opinion because 9 times out of 10, they're talking out of their behind, and that's all. And you know what? And they don't do anything. They sit home and they judge and they criticize, and but they're not doing anything. So that's the way I look at it. We're doing stuff. We're getting things done, and I live in mountain country, so I know what's a hill. You're doing so much better. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. But yeah, and we're higher elevation too, which makes a difference. Now I'm not Colorado elevation, but we're not at sea level either. So, but anyway, so Juju, so let's move on. Hey, come on now. But anyhow, again, going back to talking about a true SHTF event, there's a lot of things. Well, the government didn't shut down. How-to videos. Did the government shut down? We talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but they didn't shut down. We talked about what they did and all that type of stuff. So if you want to go back and recap that, you're more than welcome to after the stream is over with. But how am I going to talk about the government shutdown when the government didn't shut down? So, it does have closed caption, Judy. What you have to do is, like, after a stream or a video goes up, you got to give it time. You click on closed caption from your end. All videos are able to get closed caption. It just takes time. You can't get it right away. It has to process through, and then you can get closed caption. So even if you wait till like the next day to watch the videos, Judy, you'll probably be able to do closed caption at that point. Okay. So I hope that helps. But yeah. So again, so we did talk about that. But anyway, so then we started talking about preparedness and stuff like that. I think that that's not a bad topic, if I'm not mistaken, right? But again, we just have to. You have to look at the big picture overall, and I've talked about this before, and I'm not going to get into my group, because I do that a lot. I'm very proud of my group. I can't say that I'm not. So that's why I talk about as much as I do. But I will encourage all of you. This is what I'll do instead. Okay, I will encourage all of you to get into a group now if you can, where you are locally, or if you got to travel a distance, get with people that you know that you can trust, that are on the same mindset and the path that you are. There's a lot of groups out there. Not all the groups are the same. So you have to think about that ahead of time. You have to make decisions. You have to make choices. I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. In a true SHTF situation, one of two things is going to happen. One of two things in a true SHTF situation. Number one, you will end up being part of a group, one way or another. You will do it for survival reasons. You will do it for safety. You will do it because you want to survive. Okay. Now, to me, I would rather decide now, while it is not SHTF, what the people in my bug out group are going to be, who they're going to be, what kind of people they're going to be, what kind of character they have. Do we have the kind of people that we can work together when the time comes? That's the kind of group I want to have, because that kind of group is going to be successful in SHTF situation because you've been working together. You have been planning together. You have been preparing together. You have been getting ready and trying to take care of all the different things. Okay. Now, if you are not part of a group after SHTF, you will not be here. You will be dead. Okay. That's it. So that's the reality. Nobody's making it long term on their own after a true SHTF event. That's a fact. That is a fact. So why would you want to wait and say, well, I'll just take potluck and see who I end up with? I don't want to do that. Okay. I don't ever want to do that. So, all right, let's do this. How many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. So we'll do that right now. And in the meantime, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. Also, it makes a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for the reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that reason as well. Let's try to push that number up here. Let's see what we can get to. I would love to go for 400. I think 400 is actually a realistically doable number. But so it's going to be up to you guys. So I'm going to give you guys a moment to get your guesses in there, and then we will go from there. All right. We have a first-time winner, which I know is a first-time winner. I have a gentleman. Actually, I met him and his wife down at Pinball Preparedness Get Together. So some of you are going, okay, was I at Pinball Preparedness Get Together? Did I meet this? Did I meet Prepper Nurse One? Am I married? Am I single? Who is it? Who is the winner? The winner is Clyde from Inverness, Florida. Clyde is in the house. He is the winner. 3 eggs today and no for Miss Thickneck. So congratulations, Clyde. You are the winner. And you've won nothing and you're happy, which is awesome. So congratulations to Clyde. I know Clyde is a first-time winner. So, and I did meet them down at Pinballs Get Together, and they have like a travel box type of thing that they've turned into like a, so they can, when they're going into traveling, they can sleep right in there. And very, very nice people. And so, they gave me the tour of that, which I thought was awesome. And so when you hear me say, hey, there's Clyde from Inverness, Florida, say hello to your lovely wife for me. It's because I have met them and they're very, very nice people. So, see, I'm a happy winner of nothing. See, there we go. That's right. But anyway, folks, again, planning ahead is so important. And I know I've talked about this before too, but I'm trying to like touch a lot of bases in this stream with when SHTF happens. Having a game plan is huge. Having a game plan, if you have a wife or a husband, whoever a family, okay, have a game plan. Know what you're going to do because you might be working, the kids might be at school. You don't know. They need to know what to do. They need to know, okay, dad said and mom said, if this happens, this is what we're to do. Okay, this is what we're to do. They don't have to think. If it's ingrained in their brain and you've hammered it home, they don't have to think. They don't have time to panic because what they are going to be focused on, this is what mom and dad said. This is what I need to do. And they're gone. And that's what they need to do. All right. You, the wife, whoever, okay, we're meeting at location A, or we're going to meet back at home, or whatever the case may be. Nobody's going to go do this. I mean, if you got little kids, it's a little bit different situation. But if you have, teenage children and everybody goes, okay, this is the plan, this is what we're doing. Yeah, it's the same with fire drills. Exactly. You need to train them. I remember doing fire drills as a kid at home and at school. They did fire drills at school. Remember that? They had to do so many a year. The alarm goes off. It's time to get up and go. And the alarm would go off, and just you were programmed, and you went, oh, okay, off we go. We got to get up. We got to go out to our nearest exit and walk out and get so far from the school. We did that all the time. Okay. But having that game plan, um, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to make this normal world, honestly. I hear you. This it's not what I would call normal. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. All we can do is the best that we can and prepare as best that we can. And when the time comes, we need to act, not react. And that's key, guys. I'm telling you, because there's going to be a lot of people like Chicken Little running around with their heads cut off, not knowing up or down or where to go, what to do. They don't have a plan. And you need to have that plan. So get that plan in place, and then what are you doing next, right? Are you bugging in? Are you bugging out? Do you have a bug out location that you're planning on go to? If you're planning on bugging in, you better have things prepared at that house that you own to be able to button it up. And when I say button it up, I'm talking plywood over the window. So if somebody breaks a window out and you got the plywood screwed in, now they can't just get in unless they got an access or whatever the case may be. The problem with bugging in my opinion, is if people know that you have supplies and they don't have supplies, uh, eventually they're coming for you. That's a fact. That is, if you live in, I lived in suburbia, and I want you to think about this, okay? I lived in suburbia, and I used to think about this all the time, and I couldn't wait to get out of there for this reason. We had a wood stove. We kept the wood in the garage. Okay, so I would have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever face cord of wood in the garage. So it was always dry. It was always ready to go. We never used a garage to park our cars. It was the wood went in there, and then we kept other stuff in the garage. Okay, so what we would end up doing is SHTF happens, we button everything up, right? We can just go from the because the garage was attached to the house, so we could just go get the wood and have the fire. And great, we got a fire. It's the middle of winter, everybody else is freezing to death. How long do you think it's going to be before you had your neighbors knocking on the door, going, "Hey, we're freezing and we don't have a fireplace, or we have a fireplace and we don't have any wood. Can you give us some wood?" And if you say no, how long or how much resentment and bitterness and people being angry and mad at you and all those type of things. Not long, folks, not long. And they're going to try to take it from you because we live in a society full of entitled people. That's a fact. All right. We live in a me society. Nobody wants to sacrifice. Nobody wants to do the hard work and prepare and be ready. They don't want to do that. They want something for nothing. So when SHTF happens and now all of a sudden there's nobody coming to the rescue, and what are you going to do and where are you going to go? And there's my neighbor over there with a fireplace going and having a good old time, and they're cooking meals, and I can smell it. They're eating when we don't have any food and we can't be warm. How long do you think it'll be, right? So to me, if you live in suburbia, if you live in the cities, get out. Get out as soon as you possibly can. The farther away from the highly densely populated areas you can be, the safer you're going to be. Now, will you be completely safe? No one's ever going to be completely safe. Depending on where you are, it may be a while before somebody comes and tries to do something, but it gives you more time to be ready. And here's the other thing you got to remember too: the farther away you are, the more prepared you are. What's going to happen is, if you have a group, and only if you have a group, you're going to be well rested, you're going to be fed, you're going to be, not as stressed out as other people. Hopefully, you're not going to have the sickness running rampant through the group because you have enough rotation, you have enough people that you're rotating watches, you're taking care of what you got to take care of and doing those type of things. People that are going to come for you down the road are going to be stressed out. They may be sick because they're not having any medication or no place to recover. They're going to be starving. They're not going to be thinking clearly. They're going to be overtired, you know, and so those are all factors that are going to work in your favor because those people are not at their sharpest. You should be. If you are part of that group and you're rested and you're making sure, you know, you're getting 7 6 7 hours of sleep a day, these other people ain't getting 6 7 hours of rested sleep a day. They're just not. Hi, by the way, can I help you? um what? No, I'm sorry, right now I'm busy. In a little while, come on down. Good girl. She's such a trip. But again, you know, those are things you need to think about. So always try to put yourself in the most advantageous position that you can possibly be in because you're going to need to be. So what do we got? 393 in the chat still. We're at 283. Could we hit 400 here? I don't know. But if you haven't yet, please do so. Let's see how close we can get. I think we could probably get at least 350. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so again. Let's see how high we can get this and how close. 400 could be doable still. We still got a lot of people. If all the people that are not thumbs up yet, because there's 110. If those 110, there's 400. So there we go. And I'm sure some of the people have rotated in and out of this already. So if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, please do so again. I do appreciate it. Makes a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so preparedness-wise, now we talked earlier in the stream, and I wanted to touch on this because I think it's really, really paramount and very important. We are not going to be hunters, folks. We are not going to be fishers because there's not going to be those things there. You know, they're not going to be there. So we need to make sure that we have seeds, that we have plenty of seeds to be able to grow what we need to grow. Know your wild edibles. The forest could feed you if you know what you're looking for. So knowing your wild edibles is really important. Realizing that those pesky weeds that come up first every year in the spring called dandelions, every part of that is edible. Every part of that is edible. And if you are starving, guess what? They are going to be delicious. So they're going to be delicious. Yeah. Yeah. If somebody needs this, telling Troy to send me an email, guys. If you need to get a hold of me, again, prepnurse1@yahoo.com. If you're interested in being part of what we're doing down here, okay, you know, then all you got to do is send me that email, give me your phone number. I will call you. I'll let you know what the expectations are. I'll let you know what the process is to be part of the group. And if you were still interested, then we will go from there. So, and I'm going to tell you again, and I'm going to say this because I believe this to be a fact. I hope SHTF never happens. And I hope I'm the crazy guy that's been prepping all those years and nothing ever happened. And look at this guy, you know, he prepped all those years. Yeah. And you know what will happen, folks? We will have an awesome retreat down here where my members are welcome to come and hang out as much as they want to get away from the insanity of the world. We're going to be at a point where we're going to grow a majority of our own food. I saw this thing, and I want you to think about this, okay? And somebody said, well, you need this much land to feed this many people. That's not necessarily true. Because if you grow vertical, right, how much land do I need if I'm growing vertical? So those are things that some people don't think about, but that is something that can absolutely be able to be done and get huge yields of your crops if you're growing vertical. Again, gardening is going to be so important. I'm going to continue to encourage you to garden, get those things figured out, get those things going. Gardening is an art. It takes time. You have to learn what works and what doesn't work. Just because last year you got a great yield on your tomatoes, right? And you go, well, I'm good. It's great. I'm going to plant a bunch of tomatoes again this year, and we're going to get the same thing. Not always the case. Not always the case. One year this may thrive, and this thing over here may not. So you need to think about those type of things. Yeah, and rotate. Yes, Sharon, that's the other thing too. Really important. If I grew potatoes in this bed last year, I grow potatoes in the next bed next year, and then I put, something else into that bed. Always rotate. Take care of your soil. 90%, guys, and I'm going to tell you this, 90% of gardening is about the soil. If you have good, rich soil with the nutrients in the soil, your plants are going to thrive. Obviously, you need. Ed, do you think squatters will occupy your house when you bug out? If you have to bug out, what do you care? What do you care? Um, you know, like I said, for me, this is it, folks. Where I'm at right here, this is the bug out location. I'm not bugging out of here. I picked this spot very strategically. Um, this is where I'm going to be. So, yeah, learn things you can pair together. There's a lot. There's a lot with gardening. Um, our soil down here, we got like 2 to 3 inches of topsoil, and that's all clay, hard compacted clay. That's what we have here. So, excuse me, again, so you have to develop your soil. Every year the leaves come, every year the leaves fall. Those leaves can be utilized for helping to enrich your soil. It's not hard. It's not hard. Oh, it's that. So JJ's giving me the big hint there. All right, we're going to do shout outs here in a second. So we're at 318. So we would be looking at 82 more thumbs up to hit our goal of 400 if we can. 350 I believe is more realistic, but let's hit 350 first, and then we'll see how close to 400 we can get. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. Also, again, it really makes a huge difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so I got to check something first here. And if I can find out, I want to give a shout out to a newer channel. Is a kind of a surprise. Let's see. Okay, I want you guys to do me a favor, and this is a young lady that has 168 subscribers. It is Truly Tara 76. So TRULY space TARA space 76. So go over to her channel. It's a makeup channel. So a lot of my ladies, if you would, go over to her channel and subscribe to her channel. JJ, could you put that up there for everybody? Truly, TRULY space TARA. Both of the T's are capitalized. 76. So space again and then 76. Let's blow her up a little bit, guys. So I want her to go, where did all these subscribers come from? And then you can say, Prepper Nurse One sent me over. And so it'll be a nice little surprise for her. It's somebody that I have met. She has a channel. But again, it's more of a makeup channel. But so, especially my ladies that watch, if you would do that, I would really appreciate that. And so that's a new one there for fun. And I think that'll be a pleasant surprise for her. And she'll be like, "What happened?" So you can go ahead in there and tell her and leave her a message and say, "Hey, Prepper Nurse One sent me over," and we'll go from there. All right. I'll do it, but I don't wear makeup. Well, I appreciate that, Dawn. That's okay. I appreciate that. All right. We have Heavenly Hills Homestead. Again, I would ask you to please go over and subscribe to his channel as well. Really good guy, and growing giant vegetables. And so definitely give him some support as well. I'd like to see his channel do well and him to continue to grow. We have Icky Can up in Canada. Good friend, real good guy, very down to earth. Definitely go show him some support as well. We have Angry Prepper. That is Jason. Jason, awesome. I've told you that before, but definitely go check out Jason. Alaska Prepper up in Alaska. That is Rudy. Really good guy, and so definitely like what he's doing up there. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Oh, I forgot Alaska Granny. Alaska Granny first. I'm sorry. Then Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels. Same guy. A really good dude. Definitely check him out as well. Let's see. We have Demcad. Definitely check him out as well. Good guy. Like what his content is. Um, we have Corporal's Corner. Bjorn Hansen. There is 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. You have Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles, a very interesting story, very realistic, and definitely can get some information out of that. Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Definitely show them some support as well. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wranglestar, and that's Cody. Great channel, chock full of good, useful tips and information. Let's see, where am I? We have Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily over in Europe showing us what's going on over there. There's Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sarah up in Minnesota doing their thing, living off grid. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband-wife team. Definitely check them out as well. Really good people. A lot of good information. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. There is Green Greg's. I like Green Greg's as well. He's got a lot of useful information on his channel. Southern Prepper 1. He's got that Boots on the Ground series that he does. It's really interesting to see what's going on there. Let's see. You have Gray Man Prepping. There is Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around a long time. Really good channel. A lot of good information on their channel. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there living off grid, showing you how to do it down there and what they're doing. And they're just, they're young and full of energy, and it's nice to see. The Green Dream Project out in Arizona, a couple living out in the desert, showing you what it takes to live in the desert of Arizona, which I think is interesting. You have Camping with Steve Wallace, who does stealth camping. Just fun. It's more of a fun channel, but you can pick up some good tips. Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. There is the Needy Homesteader. There is Boss of the Swamp. He's been around a long time as well. Unbelievable builder. Definitely check him out as well. There is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond is a good guy, very, very smart. A lot of good information there if you're taking the time and listen to him. Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Somebody who says it just like it is. I respect that because I say it just like it is. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer. Real good information on that channel as well. Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. Another real good guy. Was erupting. He was on there twice a day. You have Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest updates with what's going on with Yellowstone and everything like that. Really, really interesting. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There is Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall is very passionate about the weather. Really good guy, and he gives back to the community in a huge way, and I just have a lot of respect for him. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand as well. He shows or tells you like it is. It lets you decide what you want to do with the information. He doesn't tell you what to think. Deep South Homestead, a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you to support them as well. You have The Outsider. There is The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel. Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Town Sense, showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. There is The Prepared Mind. You have Pinball Preparedness coming out of you from Tennessee. The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Griddy. A lot of good information, a lot of good channels out there. I know you guys have put other channels that you like in the chat, which is perfectly fine. But I think we should all be trying to come together and work together. I think that that is important. People look at things from different perspectives. I think that that is awesome as well. So that's why I like to, recommend all these different channels from all across the country, because I think it adds to it more. So we're at 347. So we're trying to, I don't know if we're going to hit 400, but if we're going for 400, we're 53 away. We're definitely going to hit 350. So we got to see how close to 400 we can get. So yes, it's just the fan. I got the fan going because it gets hot with being under the light, and as soon as I turn the stream off, that light goes off because it's too much. So I have the fan on just to blow a gentle breeze on me. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time. Also, it does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel that way as well. Last but not least, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So we're 47 away. 47 away, guys. We only got about 10 minutes, so I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, what was I going to tell you? Yeah, like I said, I'm always going to continue to encourage you to prep, continue to encourage you to get ready. I hope what we talked about tonight with the stream makes you think. If I don't do anything else, but have you sit down and think and ponder what I said, and try to find the holes in what I'm saying, because I'd love to hear them. I would love to hear the holes if there's holes, because I don't think that there's holes in what I'm saying. I'm trying to be as truthful with you and as realistic with you as I possibly can. If you are on medications, all right, if you're on medications, look for alternative things that you can utilize if those medications are not available. So that's, you know, yeah, worry about the 330 million in the U.S. Yeah, well, absolutely. So no, actually, they went stale. The Triscuits that were here, they went stale. I went to have one and it was stale. So that box got tossed. And those, like I said, those, I'll show you again. For those of you, oh, you're eating that horrible, terrible stuff. Not even open. So they're still good because they're not open. So when I open these, I'm going to need to start hammering on them. So I think what I may do is when the group comes down here next month, I may get a bowl, put these in a bowl, and say, "Have at it." So they don't go to waste. But yeah, so that's what happens with that. Uh, but anyhow, remember, folks, we're at 359, so we're 41 away. 41 more thumbs up, guys. Can we hit that 500 or 400? 500 ain't happening, but can we hit 400? So keep them coming, and we'll see where we end up with. Remember, guys, we are Legion. We are all over the world, and Legion in a good way, not the bad biblical way. I hate when people do that. They're like, "Oh, no, a good Legion." Where's everybody from tonight? We have Philip in Melbourne, Australia. How you doing tonight, Philip? We have Okie Forge in Nowhere, Oklahoma. We have the UP of Michigan with Don, Preston, West Virginia with Troy, Long Island, New York, Ontario, Canada, Eddie from Utah, Leesburg, Florida, West Coast of Florida, Delbert in Missouri and the Ozarks, Verone, BC, Canada with Gypsy Mama Prepper. We got Virginia, Hakeem in the Georgia Mountains, BC, Canada. I didn't see who sent that one. East Central Illinois. We have Connecticut in the house with Awesome Sauce, Birdsboro, Pennsylvania with Melissa, Hillsboro, Oregon with Chewy, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Silly String, Mr. Okie Forge, okay, Edgewater, Florida with Judy, Troutman, North Carolina with Troy, Waterloo, New York with Sharon, New York State with Dana, North Central Nebraska with Escape Artist, Morning Light in West Virginia, Greenlee County, Arizona, Capital City, Michigan, Prescott, Arizona for Mars Gold, Morristown, Tennessee with Alabama's in the house, Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Again, we are all over the place. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge, huge network of people. We got Dale in West Central Ohio, Campbell, Missouri with Antonio, Critter Lover in Virginia. Huge network of people. If we ever came together, they would crap their pants because a group of prepared people coming together and working together, they wouldn't know what to do because they sure don't want that happening. We got Dust Devil down in Texas. So Tucson, Arizona with Angela. But yeah, anyway, folks, just like I said, just keep prepping, keep getting ready. Focus on the things that are important. Somebody asked again in here, and I'll mention it one more time. They asked about October, yeah, October 4th. I think that's going to turn into a big nothing burger. People read too much into things sometimes. Darlington, South Carolina with Ray. Very nice. We got Sean in Nebraska. So, again, like I said, all over the place, all over the country. Huge, huge network of people. So, All American Prepper in Central Florida. Just take care of what you can control, folks. That's the biggest thing. Keep it simple, The KISS method, right? Remember that? The KISS method. Keep it simple. That's it. That's all we got to do. Uh, Coachella, Florida. Very nice. But anyway, um, and that if you think about that, right? Think about certain acronyms. They work so well. They really do. We got Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda in the house. So anyway, I want to thank my moderators again, who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. So we're at 366. Let's keep them up there, guys. We'll see how high we can get. They're awesome, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. Very, very much appreciated, and thank you very much. But James up in Carmel, New York. So also, I want to thank all you guys for being here, supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. It's a lot of fun. I do enjoy these chats, and we hopefully share good information, and maybe you learn something, maybe you don't. I don't know, but I know I have a tendency to repeat certain things because I think certain things are very important. And if maybe it didn't sink in the first time, maybe the second or the 15th time, it might. I'm always hopeful. So, and again, if you're prepping, that's one less victim out there. I want you to think about that. One less victim, that you are prepared and ready, and that's my dream, that you guys are ready. It really is. So I believe we're living in one big psych op. Well, we're living in something, and it's definitely a strange thing. It's a big game. I said that, and I know I've mentioned this before too. I said it's all a big game, and somebody said to me, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Life. It's a game, and it's how we decide to play it." So when you get to a point where you go, "I'm not sweating the small stuff," you got a better chance of winning the game. So they didn't like that, but it is what it is. Yeah, they're going to be doing an national emergency test, and I honestly I believe that that's all it's going to be. I don't think it's anything that is going to be, oh my God, they're releasing this or they're releasing that. There'll be something else coming. Believe me, they always have a plan. And again, when people say, well, who are they? The people that really run things. They want a whole lot less of us. So how do you make that happen? And so we'll figure that out, right? But hopefully you guys are ready as best that you can be when that time comes. So we're at 370 on the thumbs up. We got to hit at least 375. So we need 5 more to hit 375. Anyway, guys, remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us using race, religion, political affiliation. All of it means nothing. Those are nonsensical things. We have to come together as human beings. And if we can come together as human beings, we can accomplish anything that we want to. And that's the important thing. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So tell the people that you care about every single day how you feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time and one day at a time. If you set realistic goals that you can reach, you can do it. And the only one that's going to stop you from reaching those goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay away from negative people telling you what you can't accomplish. Stay positive and you're going to be just fine. Okay. That's what you got to remember. And when you reach those goals that people told you you couldn't reach, then you can say, oh, yeah, remember how you said I couldn't do this? Well, here it is. It's the best way to shut them up. It really is. And again, if you work methodically, it doesn't have to happen overnight, but it is, Clark's expirations, it ended up being 3 eggs today and no for Miss Thick Neck. So, but anyway, be safe. Hella, what are you doing, crazy girl? So what are we at? 377. So we got past 375. So that's cool. Be good, everybody. Keep prepping. Take care of the things that you can take care of. We do not know how much time we have. So every day that we get is a bonus. Make something happen. All right. I will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.